Yes. Thank you guys. So I'm up and stuck for tonight. I wish I had a drink. I wish I had went and got me a drink. Cause this is one of those, most definitely one of those nights. Um we're at one meal. Y'all keep tapping. I appreciate you guys. Uh DoorDash. I don't need no food. ABC store don't close until 9. Nah, I have to leave to actually. I'll do it tomorrow. I had some drinks with Barbie. Y'all know if y'all seen Barbie? Have y'all seen Barbie? We can DoorDash you some. You can DoorDash. I don't need none. If I get something, I probably get something tomorrow. I'm good. I'm good. I plan on resting tomorrow, and then I like it's been so much, and at some point I want to be able to do this from start to finish. Y'all forgive me for the kissy heart because there's one that I have to actually. I love doing the kissy hearts. At some point I want to do from start to finish, like literally I want to do it from start to finish, and I want to break it down. I need you guys to keep tapping, keep gauging. I don't know what happened last night, but thank you guys so much for your love and your support. They said I was number 3 on TikTok. I don't know what that means, but thank you. People were saying something about it. Was telling me something, and I don't know what that means, but I really appreciate you guys, because without y'all support and engaging, I don't think I would have gotten there. I've never had that to happen. I really appreciate it. Let's do it again. I am here tonight. I came here with the purpose to follow this case all the way through, and I am here. I am going to take my time, and we're going to walk through Tim's testimony. We're going to walk through Brenay's testimony, his mom, Imani, his sister, Brenay's mom. So be prepared to be here. Only thing I just need y'all to do is to keep engaging. I do have a live goal. Let's try to complete that live goal. Forgive me if I stumble. Y'all, it's been a very long day. Literally been sitting in court all day.
Hey, Goddess.
Hey, T.
I just want to ask you before you start, do you want us to cut the comments or do you want to keep them?
In a few,
or you want to wait and see?
At 7:30, they say cut them. We can cut them.
Okay.
Forgive me if I stumble. And let me say this. I don't. Ooh. Oh, thank you. I've never had one of those before. I'm gonna try not to be distracted, but make sure that y'all tapping and engaging. Most importantly. So we left off at Tim's testimony, and then we picked back up today with Tim's testimony. A lot of the stuff that Tim said, and I'm gonna be very clear when I say this, because the way that I feel like Tim and Brenay has handed this case over, I don't know, like there is most definitely, in my personal opinion, a clear the evidence, because it's all about proving that there was literally alienation of affection. You can see that Akira went through a wave of emotions. You can clearly see that, Brenay used Tim's text messages that he had between him and his now ex-wife as evidence. When I tell you the way that has played against her and has worked more in Akira's favor than her favor, I don't know if she realized that. Me and Devin in the courtroom, Devin sits a bench ahead of me to the right. And Devin looks back at me. I look at Devin, and when I say we're in disbelief, he like dumb, and I'm just like SLOW, because it was just like, why would you play that? Because now you just really helped Akira. You just solidified her complaint and her facts of finding. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can clearly tell that girl wanted her husband. Tim got on the stand, y'all, and act like the text messages that was on the screen wasn't him. Even though they read out his number, they asked him, did he realize? And I'm probably gonna be all over the place. I hope I'm not, but he wanted to deny that wasn't. He wouldn't confirm that was his phone number, because that's what it was. His phone numbers. The way that the text messages are, seemed like they came maybe from off an iPad, and then it was printed, because the one with the phone has like the bubble. So I think the way those messages came from an iPad, because of the way, and that's why they kept saying that they felt like it wasn't a real, it wasn't real. The part that got me, so this morning, Attorney Robin stood up and she told the judge that she had explicit pics, or an explicit pic, and she wanted to she wanted to publish it to the jury. So you can limit that, because that means that they would most definitely have put it on the screen, but he most definitely didn't allow that, but he allowed her to have copies. And when the juror came in, they provided the juror with a copy, and it was a copy of his private part that he had sent Akira. There was explicit text messages that exchanged between Akira. When I say explicit, I mean explicit, and this is this is like after he had left the home and after the day of separation. So clearly they were still being intimate as husband and wife. He was coming down to where Akira was to tuck the kids in at night, but apparently he was doing more than tucking the kids in. He was tucking Akira in too. You know what I'm saying? Because baby, he really, I'm not gonna go into details about what was what, but they actually went into like explicit details as to the text message, and it was raw. When I say it was raw, it was raw. It was like sexting and talking about just being intimate, how it felt, what it was like, this, that, and the third. So yeah, Brenay sitting over there. This is her. Yeah, we got 18,000 people up in here. Let's get it. Let's get them. Let's click. Let's engage. Brenay was sitting up there like this. She was so bothered. When I say she was so bothered, she was so bothered. And Robin asked her at some point, like when she was talking to, cross-examining her, do she believe, does she believe Tim lie? And she said no, she believes everything he says. everything. So in her mind, Akira them did not, like, they weren't together. She keeps saying that Akira had announced that her and Tim were getting a divorce, and then she announced that her and Devin were getting a divorce. But remember yesterday that I said Devin had stated that Brenay was trying to get a divorce online. She also tried to pay for Tim's and Akira's divorce as well. So today she kept saying, like, when Robin asked her about the date that they got divorced, this girl said, which one? I didn't know you can be divorced from one spouse. Well, I ain't gonna say, yeah, you can't be divorced. She said, which one? It was only one. And so it was like the legal separation. So that's just like some context of what we kind of experienced today in court. I told y'all that Brenay did not know how to lay the foundation to submit her video into evidence. Well, today she did. So Tim took the stand, and he basically was just trying to downplay. He stated that Akira was like verbally abusive towards him. Then he remembered the January the 27th video of him in the living room. And then I told y'all he kept saying that Brenay was really that Brenay was intoxicated. So Tim's testimony began, and they started showing the messages between Akira and Tim. Brenay got on the stand. Tim was on the stand and asked Tim. She asked him, "Do you want children?" Tim stated that he didn't want children at the time that he had children. Y'all, when I tell y'all, we was like in disbelief that she would sit there and ask that man and question that man about whether he wanted children. And due to the fact that he does have children, that was so weird to me. And so she was like, he was like, he didn't want children this early. And he talked about Akira getting pregnant shortly after they got married. And he was like, Akira had did some weird stuff to like get pregnant. Basically, you know how, like he said, she turned upside down. But he was like 5 weeks later, she was pregnant. She most definitely was pregnant. And so I don't like the way he like tried to pull and pick Akira apart on the witness stand. Tim stated that Akira knew that he and Brenay were hanging out, but it was Akira's testimony that she knew. But Tim also told her that Devin was with them at the same time. So Brenay and Tim keep saying, oh, Akira knew. So he would say that he was out with Brenay, but he was also telling Akira that Devin was with them, which was to be a lie. Devin wasn't with them. So when we heard Brenay get on the internet talking about they knew, this is what she was talking about. But she left out the part that they really played in their face and act like, you know what I'm saying? They twisted it. They twisted the truth. You don't I wrote down, you don't think that the jury is taking notes that her evidence that she has is really working in Akira's favor? That the evidence that her now husband is giving her to try to help her beat this lawsuit, she don't think that doesn't hurt her? She don't think that the jurors are not taking that into consideration? Y'all, come on, let's get those likes up. That the juror is taking that into consideration, that the only evidence that you got is the messages and videos that your now husband has provided you with because he was with his then wife. So in the video, Akira was basically talking to Tim, and she was just stating that she wasn't trying to make things, worse. That, when she go to try to talk to him, it's like she feel like, he take what she say the wrong way. And that's why it makes everything worse. So girl was just like in the video, just pouring out her heart. Y'all know how we do when we make those videos and send it to our partners and just basically try to explain ourselves more so they can get an understanding. But it was like Tim was not understanding it. And she was like, I beat myself up every day for making you feel, the way that you feel. So it was like she was talking to Tim and basically sharing that she doesn't want him to hurt, and that if he wants peace and he needs peace, to talk to whoever he needed to talk to. Now in the message it did say, even if that person is Brenay, if you need to talk to Brenay just so that you can find that peace of mind and get yourself together, just talk to whoever you need to so that you don't be hurting. And it was like she didn't want him to hurt. Akira most definitely wanted her marriage, and she was saying that she don't want to make things worse, and she was trying to give him space until basically he can figure it out. Akira stated that she did not know how to talk to him. She didn't know how to love him because of everything that she doesn't seem to be good enough for him. A video of Akira sending Tim a response to him calling her a virus. That was the response, that she was giving, and just basically trying to help him understand where she was coming from. And also, there was a video of Akira telling Tim that she acknowledged that she allowed Brenay to come in, and she brought Brenay into the home because Brenay acted like Devin was trying to hurt her, and that was the only reason why she allowed her in the home. She played that video in court because it was said multiple times that Akira and Tim Akira allowed him in the home. You played a video in court, like Brenay played this video in court this morning, and it basically Akira saying that, yeah, I allowed Brenay to come in the home, but that was only because you guys told me that Devin was trying to book up at her. Also, too, Akira was crying and saying that she felt like her place, that he had replaced her with Brenay. And I love how Attorney Robin just kept telling them, and I'm going to explain this part to you guys too. I love how Attorney Robin kept explaining to them, do you realize that we are in alienation lawsuit and criminal conversation lawsuit, and then actually breaking it down. So I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna pin it right there. Akira had expressed to Tim that, she felt like that basically Brenay was taking her place, that he was replacing her with Brenay. And she said she apologized for how she always how he feel as a man. Tim admitted that they did reconcile after the infidelity. I didn't understand because he act like they didn't. He act like they weren't happy. They didn't get back in a good place. But today he actually said that he admitted that they reconciled after their infidelity. He also stated that him and Akira should have never, ever, 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 ever been married. And he said when they reconciled without a plan. Robin get on the stand and asked, Robin started cross-examining him because now Brenay is finished. And she asked him, do you know the difference between a truth and a lie? And that he was under oath. She reminded him that he was on oath. So he was like, she said, when you talked to Brenay, you said Brenay was your final wife. And he said, So she asked him, was she the wife that put you through school? He said, Was she the wife that the first wife? He said, She said, was she the wife that bore your 2 children? Baby, when I say Robin came out the gates eating Tim ass up, oh, my bad, I'm sorry cussing, eating Tim up, she came out the gates like, y'all know how I said that and for y'all who don't know, Tim mama and Akira auntie got into it at the courthouse. And baby, the way they said that she Akira auntie yoked up Tim mom and literally knocked her out her shoes, I felt like that's what Robin did to Tim in court. Like, she came out the gates on him. She told him that, isn't it true that you wanted to work out, stuff with your family? Tim said that he had stopped being intimate with Akira. That's when Robin pulled up the text messages about Tim and Akira still being intimate and having sex and talking nasty and just finished doing stuff. And I'm talking about, y'all, Tim text messages was like in the wee hours of the morning. He texts her, good morning sunshine. He texts her, hey Mrs. Montague, with emojis. And on January the 17th 2024, he had Akira had expressed that she was uncomfortable with Brenay being there. On 3/25/2024, he stated that the messages was altered and that wasn't him. So Robin called out the number that was above on the text messages, and he said that wasn't him. So on March 23rd, 2024, at 9:48 p.m., there was a picture of Tim's private part because Akira had asked for a pee-wee picture. And to send it, Tim looked at the picture and said that it wasn't him. Tim denied that it was his private part, and he said that he should know that that's his private part because he looked at it all the time. So they passed the juror the pictures, y'all. So I don't know if she juror number 1 or juror number 11. All I know was, she juror number 12. She the 12th juror. So all I know was they got the picture, and I don't think they didn't know what they was looking at because they had just came in. So the lady got the picture, and she was like, that's how she did it. The man was like, you know what I'm saying? Like, to watch their emotions, and some of them was able to literally like control their emotions. But can you imagine, like, literally 11 other people outside of your mama and the women that you've been with know what your penis look like? Lord Jesus. I'm talking about to look at their faces was like literally cray. Exhibit 197. Y'all, when I tell y'all, Robin have now officially, because she said exhibit 700 and something before we left. I said exhibit 700. 700? Like those, this is... So on February the 6th, 2024, at 4:30 a.m. in the morning, Tim texts Akira NGL that sex was A1, which is not gonna lie. The intimacy was A1. Exhibit 196, February the 6th, Akira sent Tim a video of Brenay. He said, he texted back, answer your phone, because she was trying to call him. So, like, she sent him this video. Tim asked Akira to delete the video so that they can move forward. This is what his text message said. He said, delete the video so that we can move forward. On January the 28th of 2024, Akira told him Brenay that she wanted Brenay to leave. Now, he's sitting up there saying that them text messages not his. So Robin asked him, well, if you sitting up here saying that this is not your private part and that these text messages are not real, why should the jury believe and trust anything that you say? Like the way she used that against him, because he kept saying that everything was a lie. She had asked him, well, do you believe that everybody who have given their testimony has been truthful? He said no. Devin, and then he was like, you lied. Basically, he was there telling him, you lied. And then she asked him, do he lie? And he almost said yeah. He almost said yeah. Jane, because he had said that Akira really just didn't express that she was uncomfortable with Brenay. So Robin laid the foundation that Akira most definitely was texting him multiple times. Remember, I just said that it was one time on the 28th of January and on the 30th of January. Now, this is why this is important, because January the 31st is when she actually went to do a lease. Hold on. So Akira texted him again about being uncomfortable with Brenay. Baby, Robin asked him, was he the head of the household? And y'all, this is how she was. She was sitting like this. When I tell you my girl was so cool, calm, and collect, she said, do you consider yourself to be the head of the household? He said, yep. She said, how you the head of the household? You don't pay no bills. I said, dang. Thank you. I said, dang, baby had me. Baby, I don't know if I was getting ready to drink some water, but I almost spit my water out. Y'all, please open up the comments, because, baby, we got the pen right there. We got to pause it. Open up the comments. She said, how you the head of your household when you ain't never paid no bills? Tim didn't know what to say. When I say Tim didn't know what to say, baby, when I say Robin was literally, listen, Akira lost out because y'all put her through this mess. Y'all decided to do what y'all did, and y'all pulled her into that. And that's why she was missing out, because she didn't ask for this. On November the 30th of 2023, he texted Akira and told her that he said, I appreciate you, babe. And what are you making for dinner? And then he said something about, ask her, was she making tacos? And then on November the 30th at 1:30 p.m., he said he don't, he got mad because he said this crazy stuff that I'm talking about when you don't express, or when you don't respond when I express my feelings. That was in February 19th, 2024. And Akira said, I didn't see your text messages. In February of 2024, he messaged Akira and asked her, why is it that she don't want to be married to him? So if you don't want to be with somebody, why do you care if they want to be with you or not? That's how we know that he most definitely wanted his wife, and he most definitely wanted his marriage. And y'all have to understand that Robin has to lay this type of foundation so that she can prove that there was, love and affection inside of the marriage before the date of separation, and also during the time that Brenay came onto the scene and, you know what I'm saying, broke this up, because that's how I'm gonna say it, broke it up. Tim said that everyone was lying. He said Devin wasn't credible. He said everybody was lying but him. So then she pulled up the video that Brenay had recorded. Listen, this was a video. The video where Brenay was, that I demonstrated the other day, was actually Tim's phone. So she had Tim's phone, recording on Tim's phone, telling him she couldn't wait to be Mrs. Montague. She couldn't wait to have, this, that, and the third. Said that they just had sex, and even though they just had sex, she still wanted she wanted every day. So he said clearly she's intoxicated in that video. Clearly she's intoxicated in that video, bro. Clearly. And so she was like, well, what tense are she using? Is she using present or past tense? Because he tried to make it seem like because they had history and when they were 14 years old, they slept together, that she was reminiscing about the 14-year-old version of him. So when Robin asked him what tense was she using, and he said present, he had to say present because it wasn't past tense. Baby, I'm talking about, man, I hadn't even thought of that one. I did say that nobody's reminiscing, but the way she pulled that out in court, like she set him up and he walked dead into it. So what got him too was that Brenay was like, oh, I want it from the back, the front, the side, the back. I want it every day. And then she was just like, I'm so glad, I'm so happy that we're doing this again. Lord Jesus. Because y'all know that we didn't hear that part. We didn't see that part written in the documents. So when she said, oh, did you hear what she just said? I'm so happy that we are doing this again. That means for the second time. Okay, y'all remember that, because now I'm going to tell y'all how she got Brenay on the stand with that rekindle. Hold on. So he gonna tell Robin that he don't think that was a good question to ask him. I was like, you supposed to be answering yes or no. He was like, I don't think that's a good question to be asking me. Like, you don't get to choose, you know what I'm saying, how I ask you a question. So then she said, do you think that it was appropriate if Akira was, do you think that was appropriate? And if Akira was okay with it, why would you send a video and question her about it? No, why would she send you a video and question you about it? Because she was like, do you think Akira thought that was appropriate? And if that was an appropriate video, why would Akira send you the video and then question you about it? Okay, February 7th of 2024. I gotta read my chicken scratch, y'all, because when I say it be going so fast, like court, like trying to take notes with a pen. She was like, she been trying to tell him about Brenay and the actions and stuff like that. And also on February the 5th of 2024, Tim sent her a message saying that he was going to SHOOT, the club book. He was going, the club book. On February the 5th, he also sent her a message and said, I love you more than my own self. And also, he sent her a message in February at 6:48 a.m. and saying that he didn't know if he can do life without her. He also sent her a message in February as well and said, I love you. Shaking my head, I'm here. He also sent her a message when she had that car accident and he was asking her was she good and if she needed him, that he was there. So she asked him, how do you find love and affection? Because he kept saying, just because I sent a message and say I love you don't mean that it was love and affection. So Robin asked him, well, how do you define love and affection? He said, by showing a person, and he was like, your action. I said, boy, you so slow, because did you just get with her mama in June, July of 2023 and planned a 25th birthday party for your wife? That's not actions. That's when he really was on the stand looking like Cleo from Set It Off. So then she pulled out Exhibit 213. And this was on January the 9th of 2024. And as you can see, she was skipping around to certain messages. She said, he said, Akira responded and said, I ain't gonna read that. Those are the explicit messages. I'm not reading that. She expressed how she felt like he is being taken away from her. Now that's what you got to prove. When I say Robin has done an excellent job with this case, she has done an excellent job, because the text messages between Akira and Tim is evident that she wanted her marriage. Her stating that she feel like she's being pulled away because Brenay, has now come into the picture. Like, that's what you got to prove in the alienation case, is that there was love and affection in that marriage during the time that all of this had transpired and happened. So it didn't matter what happened in 2018, really 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022. Those are things that are that can be helpful. However, I noticed Robin's sole focus was on the year of 2023 and 2024, which is that year before the date of separation, like when all of this started to transpire and take place, and also leading up to the actual date of separation. Also, Robin passed out a picture, because you remember that Tim kept saying that he didn't feel like Akira was pregnant and that she lied. And then he was like, yesterday he said that I thought she was on birth control. So how can you get pregnant when you on birth control? So on April 9th of 2020, 6:35 p.m., there were actually messages between Tim and Akira addressing the fact that she was pregnant. And so it says that the fetus looked like it when she went and showed the pictures to like the doctor or the nurse practitioner, whoever it was she saw. They told her that that fetus looked like it was deformed because Akira was on depo. I already said that. Okay, so then the second person who took the stand was Brenay mama. Now, out of all the people that I would say that I felt like had a very sincere testimony on Brenay's side, like the defendants, out of the defendants witnesses, I would say it was Brenay mama. But then I'm gonna tell y'all what I'm gonna tell y'all. So Brenay mama came and she was like, asked her what she do. She said she worked at some type of pharmaceutical place and then she owned her own business. So then they pulled up text message. Well, Brenay had pulled out text message between her mama and Akira. And so the text message was given, and it was from January the 26th of 2024. And it started off with, sorry I missed your call. Brenay called me and I tried to decline and we got disconnected. She said, Akira said, respectfully, leave me out of it. Neither Tim. And she said, I don't need marriage advice from anyone who went through their marital issues, and then their marriage didn't last themselves. And she said that her and Tim were good, and asked that she just stay out of it. So at first we didn't understand like the context of the message, because I really felt like Brenay didn't lay a good foundation. But then when her mama started expounding on it, it was basically about the incident where Brenay had left the home and actually went to go stay in Akira's and Tim's home. So the mama had said that the next day Devin had came over and basically was telling him. So this is what Brenay was saying, that Devin told her family about the divorce, or that she didn't want him no more, basically. She said Devin came over to the house and told me that they were having some marital issues, and that he informed me that he told Brenay that you can go be with Tim. And so he had told her that Devin told her that Brenay had posed a hypothetical question. And if y'all seen that video where she said, I never said that, and if I did, it was a hypothetical question about, getting back with Tim. But I'm like, how you gonna get back with somebody who was never available for you to get back with? So the mama did confirm that's what Devin most definitely said Brenay had said. So she was like, Devin wanted to use her phone to call Akira. And she was like, well, why do you need my phone to call Akira? Now, mind you, she said she don't know Akira. She never had talked to Akira prior to this, but she don't know Akira. So he said, can I use your phone to call Akira? She was like, why? She was like, because she got me blocked. Now, initially, I'm just like, well, why Akira got him blocked? Then it dawned on me that because she was told that Devin tried to put hands on Brenay, she blocked him. That's what I got out of it. She blocked him, and she didn't want to hear nothing. She didn't want to hear nothing from him, because if that was kind of the time that he was on, she wasn't dealing with him. But that wasn't the truth. So that's how Brenay mama and Akira ended up talking, because he had called that number from her phone. And that's why the message started out. That's why we started out with the message of it saying that keep me out of it. I don't want to be a part of it. She did express to Mrs. Jones that Brenay was good, that she didn't have nothing to worry about, and she don't appreciate, them type of situations, and that she really was looking out for Akira. So then Robin comes and cross-examined her. And she said, she tried to lay down the foundation here where to show that Akira and Brenay were more than acquaintances. So she asked her, would you take her for someone who was not your friend? That woman said, yeah, she'll take her for an acquaintance. She said, well, do you feel like, that Akira was, really looking out for what in the best interest of Brenay during this time of her believing that Devin had bucked up at her and wanted to put hands on her? Also, she went on to say that she don't get in Brenay's business. She asked her, did she know that Brenay was living over there at Tim's and Akira's house? She said no. She said, you didn't have a conversation with your daughter? She said, well, I allow my kids to come and talk to me. And when they come and talk to me, all I do is listen. I said, oh, that's the problem. See, that's the problem. She should have did more than just listen. You should have been giving them some helpful advice and leading and guiding them in the way that they need to go. Because just listening to them, then she gonna say, I didn't feel the need to do that because Akira. No, she said because Brenay is married and she got her own husband. I said exactly. That's what it's supposed to be. She got her own husband. So then after that they let her down. That's why I said that her testimony probably was the most authentic, because she didn't try to make it seem like Devin, you know what I'm saying? She just tried to stay like truthful. You can tell she just tried to stay truthful. She didn't try to add no little editorial remarks or insert editorial remarks or anything. She just basically, recounted what happened. If she didn't have any knowledge of it, she didn't have no knowledge of it. So then Tamika Green gets on the stand. They asked her about her occupation. So Brenay is literally calling Tim mama and his sister. And she did her mama first because I knew she was saving Tim family last. Because who knows Tim better than his family? His family. And then he had said on the stand that if anybody who know me and seen any of this is my sister Armani. We gonna get to her. So the mama said that she worked 2 jobs. She a registered behavior technician and something else. So Brenay asked her to tell them about the marriage. Him and Akira's marriage and arrangement. So she was like, that Tim and his roommate had got into it. And him and Akira were actually girlfriend, boyfriend, and they were staying together. He stated that in his testimony that Akira didn't have nowhere to go. She couldn't go back home. I just found that so weird for him to say that because Akira the only child, so why she couldn't go no, even though her mama adopted 2 kids, like why she couldn't go home. So listen to me when I say this, that this is the same lie. These are the same lies that he had been telling Akira during the course of his marriage about Brenay, as it relates to this happened with Devin. This is why Brenay needs to come over here. Or Devin is with us, so you don't have nothing to worry about. So when I heard that he had told his mama that Akira didn't have nowhere to go, I felt like he was lying because he lied about Brenay. Devin trying to put hands on Brenay. He lied about what else I said he lied about? He lied that Devin was with him and Brenay when he wasn't. You know what I'm saying? It's just like he wanted these things to happen. Therefore, he was lying and manipulative to make sure that they happen. So I felt like in order for him to keep Akira up underneath him and they be together, he lied to his mom and said she ain't had nowhere to go. And I'm pretty sure Akira went along with it just so that they can be together. That's how I feel like happened. Because I don't know, the way that Akira mama is so supportive of her, I just don't think that woman would not let her only child come back to the house, boy, bye. So that's why I felt like after everything, like when they got through talking, I kind of put that together and said that now that makes more sense. So the mama basically said that because, of that, and Tim really having the heart that he had of not wanting to see somebody out on the streets, she allowed it. But also too, that was his girlfriend, and it sounds like, oh, that's in the money, so never mind. So thank you. Y'all, can we get those likes up? We got 24K in the room. Welcome you guys, and hey. So she said that because of where they were spiritually, she and Tim's father allowed Akira to come stay. She said they was in the process of getting ready to move anyway, but she allowed them to stay at the house. But the stipulation was they had to get married within 60 to 90 days because they couldn't, just be living in the house together. So Tim said yesterday that because time was winding down, he just went on ahead and married Akira. He said, I didn't propose to her. When I say he just tried to make it seem like their marriage was SHIT, it's like he really painted a really bad picture. So So Brenay asked them like, she ever lived with Tim and Brenay, or Tim and Akira ever lived with her? The mama stated that they lived with her like 3 different times, 2018, 2019, and then she didn't say the year of the other ones. So she was like, well, what was their relationship like? She said, oh, they was always arguing. Always arguing, always arguing. And she was just like, my son is like a big kid and Akira is a big kid. Then she was like, going back, let me say this. When I first met Akira, Tim said, Mom, I got somebody I want you to meet. So he was like, they met somewhere and Akira got out the car and walked around, looked at her and said, hey, Mom. And she don't say, I thought that was weird. Then she ran around the car and started talking to Amani. She slick tried to make Akira look bad too. I ain't gonna lie to you. She really made me mad and made me feel away because I felt like she was trying to underhand, because like, why did we need to know that? I feel like that was an editorial type thing, but like, she called me Mom and I thought that was weird. Like, ooh. So she's always arguing. She said she remembered this one time they was staying with her and they got into it about something and Tim left the house and he left for hours. And she said Akira was trying to call him, figure out where he was, just she was crying. She talked to her, told her, gave her some advice and stuff like that on what she needs to do and not do, and that they couldn't do that. But she said they was always arguing. Always arguing. That's what she said. They was always arguing. The mama said that she ended up crying. She was crying so bad shortly after they got married because she was like, she should never allow them to get married because they were so young. Tim was about 20 and I think Kira was like 18. She said that, so then Brenay said, well, was any type of violence in the home, among the party? Y'all, when I tell y'all got to know that the jury is actually looking at how Brenay is using her now husband, family, his text messages to literally, depict Akira apart, like to tear her apart. That's crazy. It's not because of something that you really like personally went through with her as it relates to, oh, she did all, you witnessed these things. She did not witness. Listen, not one time was Brenay able to say she witnessed Akira and Tim. Well, I don't think she witnessed them being like in that space, but like I think when they had a disagreement, she said later on in her testimony that she would be the referee. So